All right, I want to talk about some confident brushstrokes, taking a fairly boring, mundane kind of subject, and proving that I drew that wrong, and proving that there's no such thing as a bad subject, just bad paintings. Let's get some texture going. Just water. That's just water. Now let's go. The important part is to be confident. I say to my students all the time, fake it until you make it. Fake it, just go for it. As long as you're keeping your light stuff light and giving yourself room to push the darks, therefore, then you'll be fine. Now, I'm just doing stupid nothing kind of brush marks here at the moment. And I'm basing it around warm because I want obviously the cup's going to make that nice and cool. Drawing of the cup looks a bit funny, but I wasn't concentrating. But that's all right, you know. We'll get there. Just whack it on. Make it around, whatever. Don't be too precious. Let's just get a couple of funky underneath colours for the cup and the saucer. Whatever, leave bits of white if you want. Just bang. Don't fuss over it too much. This is just underneath stuff. Don't fuss. Fussing's for, well, I don't know, brain surgeons. Sure, be careful if you're performing major surgery on someone's noggin, but when you're painting pictures, just go for it. Just bloody go for it. Another weird green. I'm just getting little washes in. This is just little washes. That's all. Who cares if it bleeds? It's good. Oh, excuse me. I got a bit of a cold developing, I think. But that's all we want to do. We want to get some darks in there. So I'm just going a little bit stronger with some burnt sienna and ultramarine. Usual suspects. And I'm just having a look to see roughly where the darks are. Roughly. You know, just an approximation, if you will. Not much. They're down here. Whatever. And just gonna blur that. Let's get a bit of strength down there. That's just a bit of sepia. Love sepia. Should play with sepia. It's good fun. It's quite a dirty colour. Messes everything else up in your palette, or it can do. But I encourage you to play with it. It's very fun. See, by splashing water around, it kind of forces us to not be too tidy. Don't be too careful. And all of that. Some weird greeniness in there. And let's do something like that. Splasharoo. And get yourself one of these crazy stupid brushes that, in this case, has yellow paint in it. Whoopsie. Yeah, clean your brushes, everyone. Still has yellow paint in it. Didn't mean that, but you know what? It doesn't matter. Like I said before, it doesn't matter. Huh? This is pure texture. That's all we're after here, is just texture. And we're almost there. See, quick, nice and easy, nice and simples. And I'm going to dry it off, and then I'll come back and finish it up. Alright, that will do. It's not 100% dry, but that'll keep us moving along. Now I need to show you one of my favourite brushes again. This is Princeton Velvet Touch, with one T in the middle, which annoys the perfectionist in me. And it's a long round. I love it. It holds lots of stuff, very pointy. Love it. Alright, so underneath stuff done. We're done, mate. Let's just get stuck into some final touches, shall we? Sort of our undercoat's done. So then we just start mucking around with, well, overcoat's not the right word, but the stuff, the good stuff. So what's there? Yeah, softening a couple of edges here and there, not all of it, because you don't want every edge to be soft. You don't want every edge to be crispy either. Gotta have that variety still. Well, that's good. Let's get some brightness in here. Different textures of paint going on here and there. Bang, bang. So at the moment it kind of looks outlined, which is what we don't want, obviously. But we can muck around with that, that's fine. Now it's pretty dark over this side, this handle. Remember, we're aiming for expression. We're expressing ourselves, darlings. You know, it's not all about all about being careful here at all. Okay. Here's a cup. Isn't it beautiful? It's beautiful, mate. It's a beautiful cup. Got to be quite strong. And we get into the darks down here. Doesn't matter what colour your darks are, really. The only thing I'm ever thinking of is warm and cool. So don't ever get bogged down in thinking about the names on your tubes. Just bloody paint. Don't worry about it. Now let's just go into here a little bit. And also get this edge, the sepia edge that I did before. Let's just reiterate that a little bit. Now this saucer, has been handcrafted by a child, so it's not perfect, but it has character. Bit of that, and a bit of real strength underneath the cup where it's sitting down. That's good. Alright. Happy with that, believe it or not. Let's do the coffee. Bit of raw sienna or something. All we want to do is we want to put the marks in, and we need to do a bit of a rim up there where it's been, where it's been sitting. A bit of burnt sienna just to strengthen spots, and water to soften. And that will do for the coffee. A bit of sepia just sits it down a bit. Bit there, a bit there. Look, use your artistic vision and your artistic license that you have. Don't be scared to use that. If you're seeing something that you don't like, fix it, or don't fix it. It's up to you, but don't make the decision. If you don't like it, sort it out. Sort it out, mate. Soften that shadow a bit there. That's better. Okay. So let's have a look. Yeah, that's cool. Bit of water just to put a few different marks in there, and it kind of breaks it up, contradicts the softness. And the last thing we want to do is be too careful with it, that's all. You just don't want to be too careful and lose any of the character that you've created along the way, you know. That would be a shame. Strength there. Handle's pretty dodge. That's right, that's a bit better. You know what? Break it up a bit more. That's that cool. Good, good, good. We're laughing. Bit of water. Now, almost finished. Believe it or not. Let's do some sepia. Now these little straight lines that kind of give us the impression of a fence or a bloody desk or a bench or something like that. Just wooden slats, whatever, doesn't matter. And it'll give us a little bit of context when it comes time to put these shadows over. I'm just putting a bit of water here and there to break them up so they're not too careful, not too neat and tidy. You don't want this stuff neat and tidy. Character, we're after character. Look at this brush. It just says 100% pure bristle. Well, don't know what. It's some sort of bristle. Cheap rubbish. But here we go. Let's get some slight bits of potential wood grain type stuff in on this dry paper. It's predominantly dry anyway. Just little bits. And it's not, you know, we're not trying to reinvent the wheel here. We're just putting a few little marks down that will give us a bit of interest, that's all. Now, when I put the shadow, the cast shadow in from the coffee cup, that will sit it down and make it look, hopefully, make it look like a bloody desk or something. Desk, I said saying desk, table, whatever. I'm just going a tiny bit stronger up here. And the reason I'm going a tiny bit stronger up here, I'm going to actually try to lift out a little bit of steam or something from the top of the cup. But not much. Something like that, just to give us something going on. That might not even read as that, but doesn't matter. All good. Now, I need to dry it off again, so I can then lift some stuff out, put a few shadows, put a few highlights, and away we rock. Okay. Let us pray. Let us have a look at a shadow colour. Big cast shadow. That's a bit strong and not the right colour, but it's alright. We've got a bit more blue in there. Just picked up too much paint. Bloody story of my life lately. Yellow. Alright, so this shadow, this cast shadow, I'm kind of making it up. Let's have a look. Go down here. I want that shadow to be cooler. A bit more. So you can see already the difference that makes. So up across, confident brush marks. That's it for the cast shadow. Now I'm just going to have a look at the shadows in there so we can get a bit of shape going. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Casting there. There. Cool. Laughing. One thing I want to just sort out is that. Just need that to be a bit rounder. Cool. Das ist gut. Das ist gut. Just break it up. That's pretty cool. Oh, kids are going crazy. Oh. Alright, bit of shadow on the coffee and on that side. Oh, Henry's going nuts. That's alright. He'll be okay. There we go. That's pretty good. Now, a bit of spatter, or let's do something, I don't know, something up here, just to break that up a little bit. I don't know what that is. It doesn't matter what it is. But what I will do now is just reiterate some of these little darks here. Dun, 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 dun. You know, a bit of fun. But we're not quite done. I'm going to dry it off again and lift out a couple of bits in the mug and get some highlights in there, and we'll be sweet. All right. cool. That's enough for us to get going with. So just lifting a few little bits out. So let's see. Let's just water on the brush. And it's just bringing a little bit more of the paper back, that's all. You won't get it back to pure white, that's fine. But it'll make a difference nonetheless. Do a little bit up here. And sometimes you can end up with a nice soft kind of edge to it so that it just gives us, yet again, more variety in what we're doing. And I just like this sort of loose approach. Never get bogged down in thinking you have to make things look real and all that stuff. It's that happens anyway. If you take care of your confident brushwork and your tones, that takes care of itself. I will put a white highlight on that and some on there too. I think that will be a bit soft, that's okay. Just gotta be confident. Be confident, go with it, and forget about one thing. Here's a really good tip, I reckon. Forget about your mission being to make your painting look like your reference. I know I harp on about this, but it's a scourge on the watercolour society, the watercolour world. This thing that people have to be too representational. You want to be too detailed and too careful and too, quote unquote, perfect. No such thing. Make your painting work. Don't give a shit about making your painting look like your reference. Yeah. Bit of white highlight here and there. A little bit there. Just make sure it's straight from the tube. It's watercolour pigment, this one. So all the purists can untangle their knickers and live a little. But you don't want too much. You just want enough. This is definitely a case where too much is definitely too much. That's profound, wasn't it? Okay. Bit of white there, that's fine. So, I reckon that's pretty cool. Let's have a look. You be the judge. Tell me what you reckon in the comments. Please comment, please like, please share. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. The more subscribers I get, the better I feel as a human and the more validated I feel. No, just joking. You know, we're all living for online likes, aren't we? It's no good. But no, seriously, if you enjoyed this, please share it with a mate, share it with your enemies, share it with your family, share it with Sonny Bono. Well, that might not be too easy these days. But anyway, thank you very much, and I will talk to you soon. And remember, don't fuss over detail. It's boring. You don't want to be boring. Bye-bye.